York Times has redacted, retracted, and changed the statement of the initial report the Pentagon is going to release some UFO material. As I've said in all my videos, this isn't going to be a human disclosure. And I've said it and I'll say it again. This is not the time to go, hooray, they've done it, it's out there. The truth is not going to come from any one government. I mean, when this stuff broke out, I made videos talking about, reinstating my point. It's like pause for station identification. Who am I? What have I been doing last 10 years? What this is about on my channel. And nothing's changed. I am unsurprised. This is a very fantastic way of somebody saying, look, all we got to do is bait the UFO community. Throw some enticing piece of news bite out there into the public. Watch all the UFO people jump up and down and shout, this is it, we were right all along. Then retract the statement, thus discrediting those who shouted this. I don't know about you, but anybody that puts a statement out with the credibility of the New York Times and then retracts it are liars. All right, you ever watch Judge Judy Scheinlin? She says it all the time. If you say something and then change your story, I don't believe anything you say again. You have to often defer to the first statement as the truth. That goes for the Roswell incident in 1947. The credibility of the newspapers and the media at the time was impeccable also. They had to cover the war. The Second World War was covered by these people. And being accurate about the numbers of American deaths and reporting of the fall of the Japanese Empire and the surrender of the Nazis, the Third Reich, the death of Hitler, everything. These very same media was the same media that covered the Roswell incident in 1947. They were the same correspondents, the same reporters. And they had an impeccable integrity as journalists and reported exactly what they were told from people in the military exactly as it happened. They weren't sensationalists. They weren't being ridiculous or childish, as these documentaries often portray them. Give them respect. They were decent people. We have the very same in 2020, New York Times, respectable people, impeccable backgrounds. Well, a reporter made a mistake. I don't think so. Okay? You don't get that far in the New York Times, and suddenly everything's a mistake. I made a mistake. Whatever. The fact is, even third phase of the moon, and their people are getting it wrong. They're like, well, maybe it was just some kind of, and they're running on some other tangent. And I'm like, I'm going to say to you, this is a classic case of control. You don't get to be the most powerful nation on earth without sidestepping a few of those issues over time. Something called the truth is something you're going to not tell all the time. And you will go to the death to protect and defend your national security. You don't want to say to the public that, hey, public, we may not have the most powerful arsenal on earth. We are not the most powerful nation in existence. So, yeah, there it is. I am not bothered about it. It doesn't mean anything to me. The revelation, aliens on Earth, I've always said, is going to come from them, the aliens themselves, extraterrestrial human hybrids, Beniko's race, the Sasani. They're the ones who are going to be bringing that down. It has absolutely zero to do with government disclosure in any way at all. Like I said, I would take it as the first statement is often going to be accurate. Second statements are, in fact, diversion, disinformation, cover-ups, and discredibility of reliable researchers in the field who will take the bait, swallow the hook, and go, look, share it around their posts, talk about it, in an attempt to try to get everybody to look like they're a bunch of ridiculous idiots who have no idea what they're on about. It's an effective method. It has been done before. It's not the first time. But again, this is not the time to say, well, this is how it's going to be. This is not how it's going to play out. Somewhere later in this decade, they know from their intelligence that these aliens are going to be making contact and exposing that they're here, and the governments of this world, the United States, have no power whatsoever to prevent and assail and obstruct their ability to reach out to the world and say they're here. They have no way to stop this. So they have to do something. They have to put their foot in the door legally. This is why this was not a full retracted statement. This statement was only reworded in such a way as to say unknown material is going to be disclosed, not off-world. So it's like, okay, what they're doing is this is not full retraction or a complete turnaround. This is a change the wording, but leave our foot in the door. Because they always want to come across as the ones who have all the information, all the knowledge, and are always on top of everything.